says UM Live. Can you hear me, Doug? Good morning, Diana. Good morning, Carol. Can you guys hear me? Maple bacon. Good morning. Okay, you do hear me. All right, this is gonna be an attempt, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to show you guys everything I wanted to. But we're gonna give it a try. Brenda's gonna try to sort of follow us on the laptop or follow along because obviously I can't read the chat. And Mark's coming, I think, but we'll see. And then when he does, I don't know what's going to happen. There it is. We're back. We're in the country. That may happen more than I wanted it to. I thought we'd be okay, but what I might do in a little bit is let Brenda hold the phone a little bit pointed towards the outside. I wanted to kind of go back way so you guys could get an idea, this countryside, other than out off our front porch or out the front window. It's kind of rainy. There I am again. I'm back. When I go blank, can you guys still hear me? What are you looking for? Are you still off? All right, go on your phone. Your tablet trying to connect. Maybe what's throwing me off. I don't know. Marcus. I think I heard him, but I don't see him. Wait a minute. There he is. Of course, you can't hardly see him, or I can't see me. What do you guys see? And I don't hear Mark. Can you get your? Hang on a minute. When it goes off. We're just losing connection. I know, but I'm trying to get Mark on. He's right there. Hang on, Mark. All right, guys. I know this is looking like it says add the stage. There you are.
Hey.
Now, hey, you can hear me.
Yeah, but I was saying you have me backstage. You have me backstage. You have me backstage.
Yeah, I couldn't get you. I couldn't get the button right to get you front stage, and now from this angle, all I see is my upper part of my head. So I don't know what you can see. What can you see?
I see your whole upper torso and face and the back side of the rear view mirror and
Well, don't look at that.
and outside too. Good
You
morning,
see outside the
good
back.
morning, everybody. Howdy to America. Good morning.
And I apologize.
And Mike, Canada's part of America.
He said, "And good morning to Canada's part of America."
And Diana too.
I don't know how to.
We're all North Americans, so.
Well, that's true. We are.
That's what I'm
So,
talking
yeah, they
about.
are Americans.
I don't mean USA, but America.
America, yeah, I got you. America. Love or leave it.
Exactly.
That was a line from there was something Richard Pryor did one time where he did a skit about America.
And then he set himself aflame.
And then he set himself aflame. So 2 things I know right off the bat here. One, I don't know how to point the camera towards the outside. I think I've got to hook up a second camera, which I don't have with me. And 2, I am in a portrait mode, which I don't know how. It doesn't seem to want to let me go. If I go any other direction, it makes me upside down.
So, are you driving or passengering?
I'm driving.
Okay, so then it makes sense. I was wondering if you were maybe in England or somewhere, and that you were on the wrong side of the car.
Well, that's possible. Yeah, I get that. But no, we're right here in America still.
You're driving.
Yep, I'm driving. We're in the Eastern time zone. I don't know if the Central time zone or the Mountain time zone drives on the wrong side or not. That's a good question. I do have a question.
What's that?
Do what?
I just said in parts of the Mountain time zone, we don't worry which side we're on because there ain't nobody else on the road.
Well, that's probably true. So I was going to ask Mike a question, or Mike and Diana a question. I reckon how it is that they got out from under the British thumb without driving on the wrong side of the road. I mean, every other British Commonwealth country I can think of drives on the left. Australia, New Zealand, South Africa. I don't know if it was Commonwealth, but they do drive on the wrong side. What is that, my thermos? Yeah, we may have all kinds of strange noises too.
Well, my buddy I'm going to Africa with said to not freak out when we got on the highway and we're going 90 miles an hour.
Oh.
and we were on the wrong side of the road, that was just normal.
Oh, okay.
And there would be people hanging off the side of the vehicle.
Oh, good.
with chickens and whatnot.
What kind of vehicle do you think this is going to be?
Well, it's a van. It's just, they're going to pick us up at the airport and drive us 5 hours north in a van.
Yeah.
In a a pretty nice van. But last time they drove to within about 10 miles of property, and the van broke down.
No.
So they just sat there on the edge of the road drinking beer till the folks came and got them.
Let's think.
You're froze.
Somebody says something to me, you read it, tell me, or read it out loud. No, because I sure can't see anything. Up there's a dead possum right there in the road.
Uh-oh.
Somebody's probably run him out of a hole with a pointy stick.
Some poor devil.
What did Ernest T. Bass say about that? Get possum, get or something.
Possum.
He had a song for everything.
He called them possums.
Possums with a T. So this journey.
Tell John when you're on his street, he's going to put the dogs up.
We got the reason I'm doing this today is, and we'll do it again someday when I get it figured out better, so I can actually show the countryside. We had to run some errands today in Knoxville, down to Knoxville, and I needed to get an early start, or a relatively early start, and I didn't totally want to give up on the idea of doing a show this morning, but so I got to take a piece of glass to get cut in a frame shop, art shop, and we got to go to nearby town of Clinton to pick up a pocket watch of mine. It's been waiting on me for a month or better. Hell, probably 2 months now. Things just weren't. Look at there's goats. When somebody's got goats around this country, they build jungle gyms and stuff for them to climb
on. Mike asked if you was driving to Canada or Diana asked if you were driving to Canada to see if they drove on the correct side of the road.
Well, we're headed that way. I hope when we get there, I guess I'll know when they make me switch or not. Pretty sure they drive on the same side we do, but I guess I don't know that for a fact since I've never been there.
So, Mike, you need to. I just found a YouTube video about. They did a deal about the Mad Trapper that the Royal Mounted Police hunted down and took out of the population. And then they exhumed him and did a DNA deal trying to identify who he might have been. And they were not successful, but it was a pretty cool documentary though.
And what's that title? I'll have to look for that later.
Well, I'd have to look at it. It's
okay.
It's the mystery of the Mad Trapper, or the mystery.
Did you know that?
Pardon?
Did you know the story before you saw that, or is it all brand new?
Well, I'd heard about it. I mean, I think they based that Charlie Bronson movie back in the day off of him.
Huh.
And yeah, they figured he was probably, because of his dental work, that he was probably an American that had been wealthy at one point.
Oh.
And they had like 12 relatives lined up to, prove that he was their guy, and none of them worked out, I guess. So his DNA did not match. The permafrost preserved his DNA perfectly, and
oh wow,
and,
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a. I mean, you know, he was a guy that just showed up in the far north, up in the Northwest Territories, and he was getting crossways with the natives. They had
That's never good.
They had trap lines out, and he had trap lines out, and it ended up being that he was robbing their trap lines just to eat the animals that they were catching. So, because it was a very interesting. I thought it was an interesting documentary. But
What year? What year was it? What period was it?
1931, 1932.
Oh, that's not that long ago then.
And he killed three officers when they came in. They came in and blew his cabin up with dynamite and all kind of wild stuff.
Wow.
And he survived all of it. And
why were they after him to begin with? I mean, was he because he was killing the Indians?
He was all crosswise with the native people that lived up there.
Okay.
He just kind of, you know, he went in there and like built him a cabin, and he got crosswise with them, and their first encounter, they were saying it was they were just going to go there and sit and drink a cup of tea with him, and like, hey, don't steal these guys, you know, martins or whatever out of their traps. And he turned it into a shooting battle right from the beginning, and they figured he was running from something in America.
Well, that's possible.
There, you know, people said he was Al Capone people, and you know, that kind of stuff. So it was an interesting documentary.
You know, I just had a thought. I don't know if I'm going to try it, but I just had a thought. I wonder if I added Brenda to the chat, if she could hold her phone up and point it out the window, and I could share her screen like we do on a regular Saturday morning. But I'm not going to do that right this second.
Where are you at right now?
Well, we're between Rogersville. Yeah, we're on the road. We're on the road again.
No, duh.
We're between Rogersville and Bean Station.
Oh, okay.
On what is 11W.
I see a lot of pavement and trees out the window.
What are you seeing, out the side window or out the back?
Over your left shoulder, I can look out the driver's side window and see a little bit and see trees. And then out the back, I can see pavement. Well, guys, I think I just saw Bigfoot.
Did you see Mike? Were you looking?
I think Mike would be excited because I think I just saw Bigfoot.
Oh, Mike, I wish you'd been looking too, buddy.
Which in Tennessee would be called the Cherokee Devil,
or a swamp ape, even.
Or a swamp ape. Yep.
Cherokee Devil.
I didn't see the color of his eyes. He's got to have red eyes to be a Cherokee Devil.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to get closer next
time. John's asking if you're going to Florida.
For now.
And Mike did see the Bigfoot.
Oh, Mike did see the Bigfoot.
He did.
There is one up here in the yard. Well, let me back up. That might be. I'm not throwing shade on the Bigfoot idea, but I've seen one in the yard here a couple of times as we've driven up through here. I don't remember where exactly, but it sets off the side of the road, and it's like between the house and the edge of the woods. So have you not seen that Bigfoot silhouette?
See, it's Brenda's put it out on the national YouTube that there was a Bigfoot sighting at Bean Station.
No. Oh, the people will come from all over.
You're gonna have to talk about the limb he walked under and everything.
Everything.
My sis stopped tracking Bigfoot by throwing donuts out the car window.
So you think he'd be attracted to donuts, Mike? Be like a bear. I mean, bears like donuts and honey buns.
Well, you know Bigfoot likes them.
Yeah. Do what?
I said, you know Bigfoot's got to like a donut.
Well, I'm sure he does. Reckon what kind he'd prefer. Mike, do you happen to know if he has maple bacon? I bet would be his favorite. I bet that would be, because that's got everything a Bigfoot could want.
Everything, all the nutritional value that a donut could provide.
And bacon on top of that. I mean,
exactly.
What more could you ask for in a donut? I mean. Mike, if you want to come down and look for him around here, we'll be more than happy to put you up, buddy.
You got your spot to park your Airstream.
Well, it's there. Hopefully, by the time he gets around to getting here, it'll be ready again. It'll be open again. I mean,
we're taking reservations.
Yeah, I think Brenda's thinking about putting some of the furniture back in there and renting out the.
You got to make a reservation.
Yeah, Brenda says first come, first serve.
John wants to know if you're on Route 11W, aren't you?
I'm on 11W, yes. And 11 is a funny road here, John. You might know this, but there's an 11 that runs all the way down into either part South Alabama or Mississippi. And it's 11 north and south. Yes. And it just started raining worse. And it's a US highway, but when it gets up here just below Knoxville, or at Knoxville actually, it splits and it turns into, so there's an 11W and there's an 11E.
That's the one that went up by us, didn't it?
Yeah, 11E went up by us, and 11W runs up towards Kingsport and Bristol, and then they join again in Virginia, and they become just 11 again. And I don't know why they did that. I don't know if that was just to add sightseeing adventures or what, and it's confusing to people because it's 11W and 11E, but it's a north and south highway, so it's 11W north and 11E south,
which makes no sense whatsoever.
No, it's confusing, and one's about direction and one's about location.
Well, John said you're not far from his brother right now.
Oh, that's right. He's got a brother in Sneedville. What? Oh, don't worry about that right now. Don't say that. Don't say that out loud. That's personal.
How far are you from Sneedville?
Well, right now I'm not sure, but actually, John, the highway we live on, 66, is also, some people call that Sneedville Highway. It would take us, we can ride it over the next ridge or two there, and it's I don't know, we're 15, maybe 20 miles, but that's because it's, it's like this.
Yeah.
All the way up there. Well, I can't help that. I need to figure out something about the steering wheel. There we go.
And Carol wants you to take the vehicle over and go meet John's brother.
Well,
and show us the interaction that occurs.
Well, we might do that here before long. John, you have to set that up in advance. I wouldn't want to show up on a man's porch with a camera and say, "Hey, we know John." Sure, you do.
John's brother lives in Sneedsville and then does all of his shopping in Morristown.
Ah, okay. Well, we're headed to Morristown right now. I mean, towards Morristown.
We know about that though.
And yeah, We had to come to Morristown. We live in Rogersville, which is probably a little bit bigger than Steedville, I think. Maybe not. And we have to go to Morristown to shop too sometimes. We're limited on grocery stores, and we sure are limited on good hardware stores. We do have a Tractor Supply, but they don't carry, building supplies and that sort of thing. So we had to come down here the other day and get stuff. Yeah, they carry cattle rings, hay rings.
Do you have more than one grocery store?
Not really. Well,
We have a food city.
we have a food city. Well, if you count Walmart, yeah.
Oh, you got Walmart. Well, heck, you're in the big town. You got a Walmart.
Well, it's not a great big super Walmart, though. Yeah, we got a Walmart.
You got the Dollar General. I heard you say that yesterday.
Oh, yeah. When we got Dollar Trees, too. Dollar Trees also.
I made a haul, buddy.
Oh, my God. Remember I was on the phone with you? She came out with a bucket load of stuff.
Do you have a lot of new plants living with you now?
Yep. Would you like to tell them what all you bought? No, what all you bought plant-wise? What you bought plant-wise so far?
What, were they eating plants or looking at plants?
Both.
Both kinds, yeah.
I got a plant I see.
Well, my ladies they've got plants planted all over the planet now, out in the greenhouse and out on the decks and out everywhere, and things are happening. It's warmed up a little bit, and things.
Have you got stuff still in the? You still got stuff sprouting in the laundry room, or?
No, it's all outside in the greenhouse or outside. And then I planted probably 50 potato starters, and hopefully they'll be coming up before we leave for Africa. And yeah.
Well, we went to get some tater starting cuts yesterday, and I wanted to get some russets and maybe some reds, and all they have is great big bags of red, and we don't have room for a great big bag.
Well, I had to resort to Yukon Golds, but I mean, like last year, I just went to the grocery store and bought potatoes and cut them up and planted the eyes, and they grew just fine.
Well, that's what I've done before. I think there's a way they mess with them to make them sprout more eyes when they do that. But we used to buy them both ways when I was growing up, because I can remember my mom cutting them up and doing something with them before we took them out and put them in the garden. I don't know if she was putting them in pots to start or what, but
well, we used to just go down to the cellar, and the potatoes from last year that had sprouted all over, we just cut them up and put them in the ground.
Yeah, we did that too.
And I don't think it's rocket science to get a potato to grow. Really, it's if it's got an eye, it'll grow. They got these starter potatoes I bought this year at Baumgar's. They had a big old sprouted area on each one of the potatoes, but just one. And last year I cut up, I just went to the store and bought potatoes, and every place there was an eye, a bump, I cut it out and made a plant out of it. So
yeah. Well, I'm trying to think if we did that. I was thinking that when we buy cuts or whatever you want to call them, I was thinking that sometimes we get them and they might have 2 or 3 eyes in them, and if they were big, I think we cut those up. But I almost want to say we planted some that. Well, actually, let me back up on that a minute. When we planted potatoes, we mounded up a row, and then we put a ditch down the middle of it, or or dug holes in it, but we'd usually put, I think we used to put 3 potato eyes in a hole.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. I think we'd make sure at least one of them came up, which probably, grew multiple vines most of the time. What kind of bird of prey? Is that a bird of prey right there?
Oh, John's having squirrel problems with his cucumber.
Yeah, I saw it. It's dark.
Okay.
It looks like a buzzard though.
Yeah, I don't know either. Looking for an eagle.
John said he put some new twine up for his climbing cucumbers, but the squirrel ate most of it.
Oh,
the cucumbers, John, or the twine?
I think they ate the twine.
Sounds like it's time for open warfare on squirrels.
Yeah, it's time for squirrel season to open in New Jersey.
Hey, I went to. Go ahead. What were you gonna say? Yeah, Brenda wants me to talk about the chipmunks at the house, and I'm going to, but I don't want to forget this. And we're stopping at a red light out here in the middle of nowhere. When I was at the track, I almost said when I was at Bumgar's. When I was at Tractor Supply yesterday, I saw a Ruger pellet rifle laying there on the shelf, and I thought, I might need one of these.
I got one. I got one.
I know.
I've got a Ruger pellet rifle, and it's called a Blackhawk, just like the.
Yeah, I think that's what this one was, and
it'll poke them. It's an accurate little devil. The English sparrows and starlings fear me.
As well they should.
If I poke that out the window, they're like, run away.
Run away fast. He's got the gun.
But I mean, it's just sitting here now looking sad, and because I've forgiven them, and
it won't last.
But then every now and again, I get that feeling that like I might need to reopen the war, dig up the axes from around the tree and reopen the war.
Throw the red tomahawk into the tree.
You got it. The Iroquois got to dig up those axes from around that tree and get it started up again.
Yeah. Okay, so we got some chipmunks at the house.
You got chipmunks?
Yeah, we got chipmunks. Brenda said she saw a squirrel the other day come down from the woods, but so far I haven't seen a squirrel on our feeders. I haven't anyway. So we're up. That's kind of positive. Now the chipmunks, they're busy. Or chipmunk, I'm not sure how many we're actually seeing. But the little devil, one of them at least, is running all the way down from the road, almost the road. Apparently he's got a den or a burrow down there along a culvert that goes under the driveway, because that's where he disappears to. But he'll run all the way up the driveway and jump under the moving van thing, and then he'll run under. Brenda's got some bags of dirt, so he dives under that, and then he just works his way around the front porch and around the bottom of the porch. And he gets on the porch and takes off, and he'll just take a run and go, and he'll just fly. And I swear to God, they can fly. And he flies up on the bird feeder, and there he is, and he's eating bird feeder. And he gets those jowls so full that I don't even know how he gets back out of the bird feeder.
Well, and I never minded. I mean, we had hundreds of chipmunks here in our yard for a while, and I never minded them coming and getting bird feed.
No, I don't mind.
I liked watching them, but when the bigger squirrels come, that's when they eat you out of house and home. Although I filled feeders at 11:30 yesterday morning, and by probably 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they were empty. Wow. I have so many red-winged and yellow-headed blackbirds here right now, plus the English sparrows and whatnot, that they're just like, you can't pour enough feed to them. And we've got 5 feeders out that, hold a fair amount of feed. And they're sure fattening up good here. Quickly.
You ought to send the state a request for reimbursement or bird food
and to
feed some of their aerial stock.
Bird feed damage.
Yeah. They can do it that way. So we had the first time I saw the chipmunks, we had a bird feeder up by the library, the front door area of the library, and we were kind of watching it for birds, and they were starting to get a little bit of action. And then, but then I was looking out the door one day. It's got if you recall, it's got a double door that's got, maybe they're called French doors. They got windows all the way down and multiple panes. And I looked out the window and I saw a chipmunk run across the step and jump down there. So Brenda said, let's give them some corn. So she put some ears of corn, dry corn, cracked corn or whatever out there. And within a day, I swear to you, within a day, that chipmunk or his family or her family, whatever.
He's froze.
And they were just like eating whole corns or whole cobs of corn, just in a day. And I looked out there this morning. I went out to get that pane of glass, or we did, and there's like 2 or 3, 4. I think there's at least 4 used up corn cobs laying there where they cleaned them off.
So far today, as of yesterday, 9 cobs.
9 cobs, Brenda says she's giving them. And we put some on the porch because we're trying. We got a little picnic table, which it used to be out behind. I think I might have shown that before, but it used to sit out on the porch behind where my office was in the other house. And trying not to say home anymore. I'm trying to say the other house. And they get up on the picnic table and eat the corn sitting at the picnic table, which is kind of cute. If you if you like cute. But they've been wearing that corn out. What I'm amazed at though is the fact that squirrel, the chipmunk, will run all the way from down by the road up the driveway with little or no cover until it gets to the house. And we're talking 30, 40 feet. And I'm amazed that there's not any raptors already plucked them off the ground, because we got plenty of raptors around the house there. Maybe not today, but I guarantee you there's sharpshins or coopers, and I know there's red tails around and red shouldered. So I'm really surprised they're that brave. I'm waiting for one to get swooped up off the ground and just carried away.
They will.
Yeah, they will. I know. And
eventually, one of them will make the mistake, and they'll miss the fact that there's a Cooper's hawk sitting in a tree right there.
And bang. Yeah, they'll get too complacent, and the Coopers will be eating chipmunk innards for breakfast one day. Hey, I saw something kind of unusual yesterday. I like to watch racing, and right now it's time to run the Indianapolis 500. I think is next Sunday. So all the teams and things have been on the Indianapolis Speedway the past few days practicing and warming up and working on their cars and getting ready. Well, yesterday, or maybe it was Thursday, because I didn't see it when it happened. I saw it on the recording on demand or whatever. There was a car coming around one of the curves, and he was down close to the infield side of the track, and a big old snake ran out on the track and got run over by a damn race car going 200 miles an hour.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, and I saw it, and I thought, that looks like a damn snake. And language, excuse me. And, well, this is an adult show. And
well, you were just talking about that he lived there where the river had been impounded. It was a damn snake.
Right, that's right. Damn snake. And you hang on just a minute, guys. We got to take a mental traveling break here just a second. Let me ask my spousal unit something. Do we need to try and hit that button? Can't hit that button. I think it would be cheaper not. Let's see how much it is up here. Well, we're trying to decide whether to buy gas here or Knoxville. It was that when first week we were up here or two, gas was actually cheaper here than it was in Knoxville, which we thought was odd. It's caught up with it some now. We could have a maple donut here, though.
Are you pulling into a Cracker Barrel or something?
No, I'm pulling.
Hardee's, we're gonna get.
Are you at Hardee's?
There's one right across the road. That's no joke. Yeah, there is right over there. You want me to go in and buy one and let you see me carry it out and eat it?
And watch you eat it?
Yeah, watch me.
And then I'll be like that daggone show that Brenda got my wife to watching, and I'll be like the ghost, and all I can do is like look at it and
smell. You won't even be able to smell it,
and wish I could eat it and smell it.
Smell-o-vision.
Well, I was going to see if you wanted to get anything to eat. You haven't had breakfast, have you? Or a donut. Well, we don't have to get anything.
Oh my gosh.
Well, let's just go. We'll get it in Knoxville. All right, we're not going to get one.
You better get fuel. You better get fuel while you can get it.
Well, I don't live in Wyoming.
You don't know. You never know how far it's going to be down the road. If they want $5.25 a gallon, you better just go ahead and get some.
No, it's what is it here?
312.
312 here right now.
I don't know what. I can't remember where.
There's probably a discount there somewhere if you had the right card, or if you bought a maple donut or something. They might have given you a discount.
A slushy or a big gulp, or you're a veteran.
Yeah. Weigels is kind of like
over 60.
So we're seniors. I don't know if that gives us any slack or not. The Weigels around here is kind of like the 7-Eleven or something else in other places. But this Weigels started out, and I guess they still are, the local dairy, and to sell their milk, they started their own little stores around Knoxville, and they kind of spread. Well, over time, they became more than just milk stores. Hey, Francisco, and now they're these big local on half the corners in town around here sell gas, and of course they still sell Weigels milk.
Oh, they do. That's what I was going.
Yeah, they still sell Weigel's milk, and they still have a dairy farm around here somewhere. I think it's south of Knoxville, but they also have really good eggnog in the winter at Christmas. In fact, they probably make some of the ones you laughing at now.
I just love eggnog.
Oh yeah, me too.
It makes me laugh.
We usually add a little extra something.
Yeah, sometimes mine gets a little extra something in it.
Well, yeah, you might have to put a dollop or something in there.
Yeah, it puts a little spring in your step.
But I can drink it right out of the carton too.
Yeah, I can too. Well, I know one thing: if you drink too much of it, it sure is heavy on your stomach for a little while.
Yeah, that's
some thick stuff. It's good anyway.
It's like
so I got a story to tell.
Like morel mushrooms. You can, if your dad gets on the phone and you eat the entire plate of mushrooms while he's busy, you might get a little sour to the stomach.
And a boot to the ass, probably.
Or vice versa. Oh, he started it.
Well, I believe that.
Danny Kent called me one day just as supper was starting, and Dad ate all the mushrooms.
Let me guess. He who hesitates or gets on the phone
is lost.
Out on the mushrooms is lost. Oh my! And
this child had been the one that walked through the woods and got ticked up and everything, and yellow jackets up my britches and found them all.
And he ate them.
You bet he did.
Yeah, you bet. I turned my dad. My dad grew up in the country, but they never ate morels. I don't know if they just didn't or they didn't have many local or what, but he just didn't do it. And I got him hooked on those things. I found a patch or two right across the road from my dad in a patch of woods there. And there were some pretty good sized mushrooms in it. And after that, every year, Dad would get over and walk through the woods looking for mushrooms. He never had them before, but man, he liked them when we fixed them up. They're good eating. I don't care what.
I've never gotten ill on the white one, the big white ones, the gray ones. Doesn't matter how many of them I eat, but them black ones, the black capped ones are the ones that, if you eat an entire plate of them, and this is based on a sample size of 2. My dad got ill eating the first plate, and then I got ill eating the second plate. So that's the whole sample. That's that may not.
But statistically, that's 100%. That's
Yeah, you just don't. I mean, you could eat half the plate because we did that a lot.
That was okay.
Because mom really didn't like them, and my sister, she wouldn't eat anything that came out of the woods, and
nothing but cheese sandwich.
Because that was dirty and it was from the woods. You didn't you didn't have to live like a hill folk. We could, as you know, there is no, and she's changed as she's aged, but there couldn't be 2 human beings on the planet that are more different than my sister and I.
I'd say that's a truism. Who are you going to say, me and you? Oh, yeah. Well, there is Brenda and her brother.
Yeah, that'd be a good division too.
That would be at least as bad, if not worse, because now as he's got older, he's just gotten worse. What's your language?
Well, my sister at least will like eat fish out of a pond now and stuff like that. So which she would never do back in the day. I fed the family a lot. and I mean frog legs and fish and mushrooms and whatever, and she would just turn her nose up at all that stuff.
But then
make me some macaroni and cheese, or give me a peanut butter sandwich, or whatever.
Oh! Wait a minute! You made me remember something. Just a little while ago, before we left the house, I had the news on, and they ran a local section, for weather and updates and that kind of stuff. And they ran a commercial during that section. There is going to be and I believe this is the first time ever. I believe they said this will be the first time this has ever been done. They're going to have a bologna eating contest, and see who can eat the most bologna. I don't know how they're going to do it exactly.
They're going to have them big red ring logs. Like, here's your log.
Eat it. They might do that. And since you said that, Joey Chestnut, the guy that's been the king of eating stuff like that for years, hot dogs mostly, he's going to be there at that competition. And it's sponsored by one of the local packing companies around here. I can't remember which one that makes bologna. And I'm kind of interested in that to see how that's going to work out.
Well, I can remember walking down to Jim Crumley's store and getting the coldest Pepsi Cola on the planet, or Dr. Pepper on the planet, right out of the ice. You like lifted your head and you pulled that out of the ice, and then Jim would make you a white bread and bologna and mayonnaise sandwich.
Yep.
He cut right there on the spot, and that bologna was 1/2 inch thick. And it'd be 197 degrees outside, and he'd sit out there on the porch of his store and eat that. Golly, that was like heaven.
That was he. I'm sure he wasn't the last, but he was probably one of the last real country stores left.
I bet.
And there was a few of them like him, but a lot of those had gone away. The real old.
I mean, even Decker's was kind of like that, but not
Decker's,
but not like Jim Crumley's store.
No, Jim Crumley's was small, and it was, I don't know. I think it was a block building, but it was basically just a cube set down there. Shoebox or whatever there beside the road, and those little stores used to be everywhere. And you're right, I used to work in one, and I stocked shelves. They had a few
walked
groceries
inside
in
his store, and it smelled like leather goods and Barlow pocket knives
and chewing
tobacco.
Let me tell you another story I just heard yesterday. Or maybe I've listened. Anyway, it was just the last 48 hours. I heard this, and I meant to get with you beforehand so you could go along with it.
I could do some prepping.
Yeah, so you could prep, and you're welcome to go along with me if you won't agree. But this guy was talking about when he was young, and he said one day they were at the store, him and his cousin and his pap, or this guy's uncle, and he told him, he said, I'm going to buy you boys a whole box of 22 shells for, so you can squirrel hunt and such. And this guy said that was just, that was 50 bullets. And he said, we usually bought 3 at a time, for a penny.
Yeah.
They used to sell them loose like that. And so he said they bought a whole box. So he thought, wow, man, we got a whole box of 22 shells. So one day real soon there, you might remember this day, Mark, I don't know, but because we was out working in the barn, and And we looked out the window, and up in that big hickory tree there by the bar, if you recall, it had a haul space in it. We seen the squirrel's head poke out, so we got that 22 rifle out and we shot. Squirrel disappeared, if you recall, and then we went back to work, and a few minutes later, squirrel popped his head back up, and we shot again. And hell, before it was over with, we'd shot that whole box of 22 shells and didn't know if we had a damn squirrel or nothing. And so we got out there. Pap come out there with a saw, and he cut that log open, and sure enough, there was 50 dead squirrels in that hole. You remember that?
50 dead squirrels. Oh, yeah.
50 dead squirrels.
50 dead squirrels in that one tree.
50 dead squirrels.
People don't know how much fun you can have with squirrels. I've probably told this story before, but my grandpa, when he was a young man courting my grandmother, he was walking down a fence row that had, intermittent trees here and there, and it was fox squirrel country, and a big old fox squirrel run down into a big hollow fence post. And Grandpa took a greenbrier and run it down in there and twisted it up in that squirrel's tail, the tail hair, and pulled that squirrel out of that fence post and grabbed it. And it immediately grabbed him back.
Because that's what they do.
Right in the web of his thumb. It bit down like a snapping turtle, and it wouldn't let go. And Grandpa was going to take that squirrel to my grandmother as a gift, like a pet. And he ended up biting the top of that squirrel's head off with his own teeth because it wouldn't let go. And that's the kind of fun you can have with squirrels.
That's just one of the many adventures.
That's one of the many adventures involving squirrels in rural Appalachia.
I don't know if you guys know what a greenbrier is. Some people might call it a sawbriar, but they're green. They grow vines in the woods. They don't stand up like blackberry briars or something like that. And they don't grow
tanglefoot.
They're all over the ground, and you get tangled up in them, and you can't they're hard to get out of. They grab you, and man, the thorns on them don't break off or anything. They just cut you like a saw blade. I swear they do. And the more you struggle, the more they gash your leg or whatever. And you usually end up having to back up or take a step back and working your way out of it because they're terrible. They don't break off. Sometimes they'll pull, and what they do is they drag along your leg, and every briar on the leg stem just cuts.
It's nature's barbed wire.
Yes, nature's barbed wire. That's what I was going to say. They're much akin to barbed wire. So you could stick it down a hole and tangle it up in a squirrel's tail. I truly believe that. And I also truly believe that squirrel would come out of that hole and latch on to you like hell hath no fury.
Well, Dad taught me into when I was a boy to catching that flying squirrel that they were flying we were fishing and they were flying out of the woods to a great big old stub. And there were just dozens of them. And I was like, boy, it'd sure be neat to have one of those as a pet because they're so cool looking,
Oh, they're neat looking.
And Dad's like, well, just stand there. They're all landing at the same spot. They were all landing low on the stub and crawling up and going in a hole in that old rotten tree. And Dad's like, well, just stand there, and when the next one comes out of the woods, grab him. and then and I'm sure he chuckled evilly.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
And I grabbed him, and he turned around completely inside his hide and bit me on the top of my right middle finger. Still got a big old ropey scar on that knuckle.
They are, and that is a fact. I would guarantee you that, because I caught some. I've handled a few too, and most of the time I had gloves on, thank goodness. But I catch them in my live traps when I was doing that survey in Oak Ridge a couple years, and I'd catch one every once in a while. In fact, there was a patch of woods where I'd catch one about every night, and I hated to see them die. Or, we weren't killing them or anything, but sometimes they'd get in those traps and they'd just freeze overnight. They couldn't stay warm that way. Anyway, I'd get them out of the trap, and I'd hold them. I'd hold them in my gloved hands, and they have got so much loose skin that I swear that I believe they could literally turn all the way around.
Like 360 degrees inside their hide.
I mean, I've never seen anything that can turn on you like they can.
Brenda asked how old I was. Brenda, I was it wasn't long after Dad got out of the Marine Corps, so I was probably 7 or 8. Maybe 9. I wasn't very old. I was gullible enough to grab that flying squirrel with my bare hand. I know that. And Dad thought it was hilarious.
Oh, I'm sure he did. I know your dad. I'm sure he did. He was probably laughing under his breath before you even got to it. I guarantee he already knew the result.
He liked to see me try to catch snapping turtles and things like that when I didn't know what I was doing. And that's the way we used to learn.
That's the way we used to learn. That's exactly right. You fell off the roof. You learned not to climb up there. And
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
What was the doc on Hee Haw? Archie Campbell.
Archie Campbell, yeah.
Like, Doc, it hurts when I do this. Well, don't do it. And he'd slap you and don't do that.
Don't do that. Well, then don't do that.
That's the way
I don't know what it was about kids. I don't know what it was about kids about that age, but we must have been quick, lightning fast. Because we used to catch, I know about a lot of young boys my age at that time who somehow or another managed to catch chipmunks, just out.
Yeah.
They'd run around, they'd run into your yard or near your house or something. Somehow we were able to catch them. I don't know how we did that, but we did. And then we immediately learned to let go of them real quick, because first thing they did was bite a hole through your thumb or your finger.
Was start to go up your arm. And my grandfather, who loved to hunt, to noodle for snapping turtles, he loved turtle. And he loved to reach underneath the banks, overhanging banks, and reach up in there and find a turtle, And he was the only thing I ever saw the man be scared of was muskrats. And he's like, you reach up in there and grab a muskrat by the tail, he'll start up one arm and come down the other, and you'll regret it.
Like a cross-cut saw, eating as he went.
He had a buddy of his that was a fellow POW that I still remember him saying one day, "Rich, do you want a big old snake?" And we were noodling for turtles, and Rich was deep into his cups, I'm sure. And he said, "Well, sure, Ari, I'll take a big old snake." And Grandpa pulled this big water snake out from under that bank and just threw it at him, and it hit him right across the neck.
Oh, no.
and I was a little boy, you know, and I never seen a grown man like scream like a little girl and run up the bank.
Do you remember if he walked on water?
But I near wet myself, I can tell you that. I was laughing so hard. Oh my.
What?
Tina joined in. She's at Saurday, waiting in line.
Oh, hey, Tina. Oh, man, enjoy that. I love soaring. I think that's one of the neatest rides I ever made. Hey, I was going to say, that made me think of another story. I saw another video this morning, I'm sure on YouTube.
John was asking about no muskrat love. No, muskrats don't love you.
No, when you grab them in a hole and try to pull them out.
And beavers don't either. You don't want one of them to bite you.
No, because they can bite right through your leg.
Yeah.
They're not going to fool around.
How do we get off on this subject?
Well, that's because that's how we are.
This has been a literal like squirrel. You're frozen up again. There you are.
But I didn't go the way I didn't. You see me?
Yeah, I can see you now. We can see you. You were just froze.
Oh, okay.
We can hear you.
Well, here I was bragging about the signal. I was going to really go through the country, and
it's been pretty darn good, buddy. I'd say.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm impressed.
You've had about three times where you were like, but not very long.
You did understand that language, right?
I did. I got what he said.
I mean, that was like ooh, ah, ting, tang, wah, wah, bing, bang.
He taught that to my oldest daughter.
I did. That's right.
She still remembers that. Oh, we'll probably see them today because
Oh, good.
They had
all four of them.
Maybe because they had a sale that ended last night and an auction, and so today's the pickup day. And we're going to try to swing by there. We got a couple. Brenda picked up a couple of knickknacks and 4 things, she said. She decided last night that she's a champion auction person because she managed to snake out 4 things. But I'll tell you something, man. Those auctions, sometimes, and they do what?
She's doing hand
signals to they you never know what something's going to sell for. I mean, I say that literally, but like yesterday, I was trying to buy. I really wanted to buy what?
A Hopkins and Allen rolling block.
Yeah. Well, God, I wish.
3240.
Center fire smokeless rifle, single shot. No, Mike, I wish. I was looking. Brenda saw what do you call it? A vanity, like a dressing vanity, like my. What? Is that what it is? And it was, you can set. It was for a lady or a bedroom. And it had some drawers in it, and it had 3 mirrors in the top, and it was like 3 pieces. I guess it would sit in the corner or something. I don't know. But it was a pretty big piece of furniture, and it was old. I mean, you don't even see stuff like that anymore. I mean, this was a true antique. And her Aunt Helen, Brenda's Aunt Helen, which we probably never talked about, she had one. So Brenda remembered it, and she started to bid on it because she thought, of course, second thought was, where the hell are we gonna put it? But right now, but she thought about bidding on it, and before it was over with, that thing went for $50, which I bet it had to be worth 10 times that, at least. I mean, it looks like it's really. I mean, so you never know if something's going to go for full price or if you're going to get a hell of a deal. Like it, I had a Koliak print of them yesterday. They had a large Koliak print, and Koliak is Ed. I think it's Ed. I can't think of his first name right now. Well, you might. I think you've probably seen his stuff, but he had an affiliation with UT's Wildlife Society and group, and he would donate prints to us every once in a while. But he was at one time or still is, a famous wildlife artist. You know, he draws really, really good detail. Some of your stuff looks like some of his stuff, I'll be honest with you. And with the detail and stuff, that bobcat you drew me, he drew one very similar, or lynx. It looks so much like that, it's uncanny. Anyway, he had this one print yesterday, and it was 5 Alex that were just starting to come out of the nest or the den where they were hatched, and they were just sitting on this snag, and man, I wanted to get that. I've got 2 or 3 of his prints now. I've got an eagle, an osprey, maybe a smaller one, but I wanted that print, and nobody bid on the damn thing until like right at the end, and I kept bidding on it. And finally I decided I'm not going to pay that much. But somebody else ended up getting it, and I looked it up, and it was worth at least $300, and they got it for $70. And which if I wasn't bidding on anything else, I probably would have gone for it, because that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
But his stuff, look his stuff up. I mean, if you've never seen it,
how do you spell his name? You froze up on me again.
We lost us. There we are.
Didn't get any of that.
Hang on, Brenda's going to look it up.
Did you say Koliak?
It's Koliak, yeah. I think it's Coul Liak. I'm not sure how the Liak part's spelled.
Sounds like an intestinal disorder.
Like a what?
Intestinal disorder. No offense to the man, but just saying.
No, none taken. I'm sure. Did you find it?
If I knew him, I'd say that to him.
Yeah, well, yeah, and he'd probably accept that.
And he'd come back at me with something different.
Yeah. You still can't find it. Oh, she's looking. She'll find it in a minute. She'll find it. And then I looked him up last night. How did I do that? Oh, I had it. I cut and pasted.
Well, I can hunt for it. I can spell it enough different ways. I should be able to find him.
Yeah, if you get it close and put wildlife prints or something, I bet it'd come up.
Yeah. And he's at UT, or he worked?
Well, I'm not sure. I think he must live in Tennessee. I'm not sure. I think he did at one time. The reason I say that was every year he donated like a large frame print to the Wildlife Society to auction off for their funding. And I saw him do a wild turkey at the Wild Turkey Federation. They had one too one time of his that they were auctioning off.
Maybe I've seen this.
It's
University of Tennessee endowment. It's COHEL. Well, A-C-H.
You hear that?
I did hear that.
Yeah, Guy Koliak.
Guy Koliak.
Internationally known wildlife artist.
Hear that? Internationally known, buddy.
And he does paintings too, or just drawings?
Probably both. But I know a lot of his stuff is I'm gonna say with pen and ink type drawings. Look how crooked that truck is. The back end of the thing damn near hit us, and the front was on the other side of the road.
He donated 500 black bear cub prints to establish a scholarship fund in 1975.
Well, he's been doing it a while then.
He's been at it for a spell.
I don't know if he did the same why he did that.
To establish funds for kids to go to wildlife and fisheries time. To go to college.
Was he from there though? I mean, did he go to the UT? Oh, this is the real UT, just to clarify. This is the University of Tennessee, not that one in Texas that tries to use the same name.
Exactly.
I'm gonna take the glass
Let's clarify that.
Yeah, I wanted to clear that up right off the bat so nobody got mistaken.
You know, the Society of Animal Artists Award of Excellence 8 times.
Wow.
He had films on PBS. Did you know that?
He had films on PBS?
Yeah, in 2006.
No, I didn't know that.
Well, I feel honored that you compared my stuff to his stuff.
You should be.
You should be.
But you do some fantastic work, Mark.
A man that has contributed that much to wildlife conservation deserves many accolades.
What did
It provides scholarships to the School of Wildlife Management every year.
Wow. I don't think I got a couple of scholarships through that, but I don't think I got his though, one under his name. What was Randy? Not Randy, but his brother, in the Christmas Story movie. Huh?
I got dogs. Hold on.
Oh. What's the Christmas Story kid's name?
With a BB gun?
Yeah, red BB gun. Randy's the kid. Anyway, he got his. I'll wait till Mark comes back. Hey, Don, welcome in. Oh, Michelle's in there. Hey, Michelle, I didn't know you guys. I'm on the road, so Brenda's trying to catch me up on who all's in chat. I can't read the chat and drive, and I got to figure this out. In case you just joined us, I got to figure out how to do, forward looking so you guys can see. I wanted you guys to get to see the countryside.
Well, you didn't forget it. We just are on an interstate, which is unimportant.
Yeah. So you don't want to see this part anyway, but
nothing like our roads at home. Trust me.
I would have. I wanted to go back country all the way down to at least down to Knoxville, and what?
I got the curve again the other day.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did not have to break it off.
We've got some real twisty curves going up to the house, and one of them is about 180-degree turn, and it got a pretty good radius all the way around. Brenda's been practicing on going through it without having to touch a brake or a throttle. She's trying to get the rhythm.
Don's
time for me to get a sports car.
Yeah, no, we won't go there.
Don's hooking them.
Do what?
Don from Texas is hooking them.
Hooking horns.
we were talking UT.
Yeah. Well, she's from Tennessee, so she ought to appreciate that.
She said go Big Orange and then hook them.
Yeah, well, that covers both of them then.
Yep, got them both.
But he and Diana should do this one day around their city and show everybody. So we should do a string together. Kim, up for that?
I'd be more than happy to do that. Yes, I would love to do that. And I'll figure out how to do that, Maple Bacon. And we'll certainly do that. I'd love to do that. I'd love to see the city.
Diana said,
Okay.
Like the people of New York.
Oh. I'm sure that's not entirely true.
April's got a double header today. Birthday party's tomorrow.
Oh my.
Camping next weekend. Wow.
Got a big week then. Is that a double header in soccer?
Is that an actual thing?
Soccer?
Yeah. Is that a real thing?
I don't think it is, but I think they like to make it sound like it is.
In the South, that's usually what men go to jail for, soccer.
Yeah, that's right.
And it ain't football.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't football.
Gabe's gonna be 10. Happy birthday, Gabe.
Yeah, happy birthday to Gabe.
It ain't football, Mike.
What did he say?
He said it's football.
Football.
Yeah, that's not really football. You know better. Let's see here. I'm getting into town. You might be able to see through the window here. If you ever went or remember the 1982 World's Fair, the Sun Sphere that's in the fair's right back over there.
I see vehicles passing you.
You see who passing me?
Vehicles are passing you.
Oh,
like
yeah.
like you're standing still.
That's because Brenda said that's because she's not driving because nobody passes her. And that's pretty much the damn truth, too.
Well, you know how my father drives. He taught me how to drive.
Yeah.
But I try to resist those urges, but there's times where I have a hard time doing that.
Yeah, I understand. Oh well, that's probably true too.
When you're between Moab and Panguitch, Utah, there's times where you might just have to let her ride.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I would like that.
Well, there's just not a lot out there on that highway.
And we saw drag racing the other night.
Oh yeah, Mike, you'll appreciate this. We were coming back. We were coming back, I think, from our Morristown trip to the hardware place, and Brenda says, "Oh, look, drag racing." I thought she was kidding at first, and then I heard the cars, and I looked back, glanced over my shoulder, and sure enough, there was two cars. Looked like two. It was either two Mustangs or two Dodge Chargers. All I saw was the back end. But my God, were they loud. And they were hauling ass down the highway, side by side. Country road, take me home.
Thank God there's still places that believe in that.
Yeah. There used to be a bridge down below Jonesboro, down along Chucky River, that was famous for that. And it was like I think it was a quarter-mile long bridge. And they'd line up down there at night and they'd race on that bridge. And I knew a guy used to go down there with his motorcycle and race from time to time. Wasn't me.
And yes, Don, I live in the middle of nowhere on roads that you could maybe not see another human for 100 miles. And I can get a little heavy on the old foot.
Well, like you said, it comes.
We got pulled over. I was driving a game fish truck one day and got pulled over by a highway patrolman. My truck was my truck was so muddy he couldn't see the shields on the door. And he pulled me over and he goes, "Oh shoot, I'm sorry. And I'm like, why? I was obviously speeding. And he goes, yeah, you were doing you were doing 90 and a 60. And I didn't know.
Sometimes it just sneaks up. When you're out like that, sometimes it just kind of sneaks up on you.
I'm sure there was some cool song on the radio, and I was.
Oh, I used to have some music when I'd start playing. My foot always seemed to get heavier and heavier on the way home. Especially if it was late at night.
What's that daggone song? The song that gets me is the Rolling Stones.
Not Painted Black.
Not the one about the devil. Don't you know my name? What's the name of that song? Tina's gonna have.
Come on, please. Tina, help us out.
I can hear it in my head right now, but I'm not getting all the lyrics. I could probably come up.
We can't hear it. You're not hooked up to the microphone, so we can't hear it.
Mike and Diana got to head off to the Costco.
Oh no, not the Costco.
No.
What did Mike say a minute ago?
No, say it's not so. I can't think of it.
Did you put the pedal down to the metal, Tim?
I have.
He said, enjoy.
I can think of no place worse.
My
Mike, you don't want to bet on this car. I'm afraid I couldn't outrun him in this. I might catch up with him eventually, but I don't think.
John said to hum a few bars.
My girls go to Costco clear down to Logan, Utah, which is about 2 hours from here, about once a month, and I can't think of anywhere I would less like to be.
I bet.
Yeah, well, do you remember the thing that I sent you? Said this is our trip to Costco, and it was a truck, and it was loaded completely down, people hanging off of it.
Yeah.
Stuff.
We've got a Costco here in Knoxville, but I've never been to it.
We never joined.
But I hear they have some interesting things, although I doubt very seriously that they sell squirrel guns and fishing rods and that kind of stuff.
That song's called "Sympathy for the Devil."
Oh, okay.
I just like the song. I don't like the song. I just like the sound of the song.
There you go. Oh. What time is it?
Well, it's 12:30 your time.
Well, is it? 11:30 our time.
It's 11. No, it ain't. Are you Central or Eastern?
We're Eastern.
Oh yeah, that's right. My computer clock's at 1 hour ahead.
Oh.
So I have to do my conversion. I forgot to do it. So
you got to convert. You got to convert back to Mountain Time, and then you got to convert that over to Eastern Time.
Right. So my computer it thinks it's on Central Time, and my phone says what Mountain Time.
Oh, okay. Bye, Mike and Diana. I think are leaving or they've left. I hope they hadn't gone. All right, buy me something at Costco, Mike. With real Canadian dollars.
Hopefully they've got at least one beaver on their bills.
Oh, that would be nice. I don't know if they do or not. We'll have to ask next time.
Or a moose or something cool.
Something Canadian.
Yeah, big old northern pike.
I bet they have a maple leaf, if nothing else.
Michelle said, "Good God, 7 Costco's to choose from."
She's in California.
Well, yeah, she's in California.
We have one that's within today's drive of our house, and the rest of them are all longer trips.
You don't even have a Walmart, do you?
We got one in Evanston, and we got one in Rock Springs. So 90 miles or 70 miles.
Take your
pick. We got Baumgart's 15 miles from the house, though.
Well, and sometimes that's all you need.
I'm in there probably 3 to 4 times a week, and I told them if they ever shut down, I was going to hunt them all down.
Who's got a favorite song?
Because I don't have to drive like an hour and a half to get horse feed.
AC/DC Thunderstruck.
Oh, AC/DC Thunderstruck that Dawn said was her favorite.
Donuts.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good one, too. That's a pretty good one.
Radar Love was a pretty good song, too, if you're on the road.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty good one, too.
I'm talking late night highway driving.
Yep.
When we used to drive from Florida, not me and Brenda, but when I was in school in Florida, my buddy and I would drive back in the middle of the night. We almost always headed home in the middle of the night to avoid traffic. And back then, you could get on the road at midnight, and there wasn't nothing out there but some truckers. And didn't seem like there was near as many of them as there are now.
We talked on the CB.
And we talked on the CB sometimes. That's true, we did. But we get out there on the road, and there's no traffic out there, and it was not. And something like that would come on the radio. So, it was not that uncommon for the speedometer to get way up on the upper end of the scale. I mean, you just can't help it when it's like that.
It's an odd phenomenon.
It is.
And there's certain songs that, like, when I hear them, I'm just like driving too fast.
Yeah, that'd be a good study for somebody to do. That was interesting looking. What? Somebody say?
No, I'm just saying the raccoon climbed up and ate all the soot off and knocked over a planter.
Oh, Brenda's mom, I guess she's got her on the other line. Talking about a raccoon climbing up and eating all her suet out of her suet feeder.
Knocked over a planter, so she's aggravated.
Oh, it knocked over a planter too and broke something, so she's aggravated about that. Oh, yeah, I'm going the right way.
Breaker 19. This is Country Bumpkin. You got your ear.
Well, we had thousands of days before cell phones, guys. Florida boy. That's what I don't remember.
Pigpen, this here's a rubber duck. I ain't.
Yeah.
Just ain't gonna pay no toll.
No.
My dad was double nickel.
So we hit the 8 going 98.
So on the 8.
Truckers roll.
That's right. I hadn't heard that in a while either.
That was a weird period of American history.
It was. At least a weird period of American music.
There was like 4 shows on TV, BJ and the Bear and Convoy and then everybody and their brother had a CB radio and it was weird.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't last.
That was during the time period when we were supposed to be driving 55 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And that's when they dropped the speed limits.
Exactly.
And
it was just
Sammy Hagar.
Just
Sammy Hagar even wrote a song about it. He couldn't drive 55. So they took his car away from him, I think.
They
okay.
Yeah, that was just a different time.
It was. I can remember going to Florida the first time, not the very first time I was there, but the first time I moved down there. And my buddy asked, "Does your mom and dad, they were going down, taking me down, and his parents were taking him down, or helping us get down there. They wanted to see the school and whatnot." And I remember him asking me, he said, "Does your dad do 55?" And I said, "Well, probably. That's the speed limit." And he said, "Well, that might be a problem." Because his dad apparently didn't believe in that. His dad was a neat old guy. I really liked his dad. He was special. He'd been around. He'd seen a lot of stuff. He'd been around since before the Depression. He worked through the Depression. Met Roy Acuff down on the corner there in Jonesboro singing for his supper.
Really?
Yeah. There's a beer joint. Look at that. A brewery. Well, this place is popular. Well, right there it was. We passed it. But we got cars parked all over the damn place. What is going on here?
District Gallery.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. It's the District Gallery. What in Sam Hill's got these many people? They've got the road blocked.
Dawn was country bumpkin. She got that handle given to her when she was a little girl.
Oh, really? I can't tell you all the things I might have got a handle for. If that's how it always works.
Well, they called me Mud Dauber, and because I was always in the creek, or my buddy Troy would have been Leech Killer.
Leech Killer. Leech Killer. God, I remember that. Okay. That looked like, I wonder if I can go this way. Look at all these people. They must be here for this gourmet market.
Look at all them cars around you. Where are you at?
Yeah, I'm in a parking lot. It's lunchtime, and evidently everybody and their damn brother is down here in this same place. I'm trying to go in this building right here and drop my glass off.
Oh.
To get it cut, and now I can't even find a way to get in this place to do that. And I ain't parking across the damn highway to get in here. Yeah, you want to do that?
Bye, everybody.
She's gonna go out. I'm gonna stay on for a little bit.
Well, the view in your windows outside has declined significantly.
Yeah, I know. It's become quite ugly. There's steps.
Golly, there's just like the cars are zooming around, and
bear with us just a moment.
there ain't that many people in Tennessee.
Jeez, you might think that. There didn't used to be. Well, when you consider about half of them are, pardon the expression, but they're halfback Yankees.
Carpetbaggers.
Can you see Brenda in the back of the car?
I do. Is she taking the glass in?
She's gonna take the glass in. Everybody hold cross your fingers.
Man, you like living the life of Riley there, brother. Here you hauled in there.
Get out of here, woman. Haul that up there.
What woman? Get that glass hauled in there.
I'll get the door. Go on. Don't start singing that song. Oh, I bet she didn't. No, she didn't take her phone, which means she can't call me and ask me questions. I guess she won't need any. Maybe she won't have any questions. I mean, it's Pardon the pun, but it's cut and dried. It would just be a plain sheet of flat glass, but it's got a little curve around at the top. Just kind of I don't know what you'd call that, but I thought about getting me a glass cutter and trying to do it myself, but I decided that Brenda probably wouldn't put up with that anyway.
It don't cut like it used to.
Probably not made the same, I bet.
It used to be, I cut all my own glass back in the day, and it was a pretty simple deal. And it just don't cut like it used to. I don't know. I bet you're right. I bet the construction of the stuff is a little different.
We had a, hang on a minute. Let me wet my whistle. Oh my God, brother. Newsflash alert. We're sorry to interrupt the regular schedule in this program. I am parked here and I'm looking at a sign that I did not see before. It's Mohican Street.
Very cool.
How apropos.
Very, very cool.
Mohican Street. Me last Mohican. Me smell Mohican burning.
Well, this Mohican's going to have a whole passel full of grandchildren tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And the weather's supposed to be fairly decent, and we're gonna do some pony riding. So.
All right, that sounds like fun. What does the green?
What's that?
What is the green? You think of the red cross symbol. What does a green cross like that mean?
The cross is green?
Yeah, instead of being like a red cross symbol, it's a green cross symbol. Same kind of cross.
I don't know.
Me either. You might know.
Because even like a military deal it'll be an OD green background with a red cross on it.
Right.
Usually outlined in white, I think, but I don't know.
I'm looking back. Brenda's not here. I'm going to look back and see what's chatting. I have to head out. All right, Michelle, have a good day. Thanks for stopping in. Really appreciate that this morning. I really hope soon that we'll get back to some kind of normalcy. I contacted
this is fun though.
Yeah, it is kind of fun. And next time I do, I'm telling you, next time I'm on the road, I'm going to have a camera pointing out so you guys can see the road and hopefully nobody will get car sick. But see the road and the trees and the terrain, because it's might not be what you're used to. I think probably Diane and Mike are probably used to plains in that part of Canada.
Well, you could probably run the group up through towards Cumberland Gap or somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That'd be good. I should do that. We could go out. What maybe I could do is
they could cross with Boone right there at the Cumberland Gap.
Yeah, we could go to Cumberland. I don't think you can. Let me think about this for a minute before I lie. They took out some of the old Cumberland Gap Road and made it a walking trail. So in essence, you're in the footsteps of Brother Boone and his companions. And now, there's a great big tunnel that goes under the mountain there instead of over the top.
Oh, well, we used to go over the top. So
when you and I were when times when we might have been together going across the gap, I'm not even sure the tunnel was complete or there.
I don't think it was there. We went up and over and right through the gap, just like
Yeah,
just
like
like
they
we were looking down into the Kentucky. Just like, and it's really not visually. It's probably pretty darn similar to what it would have been when he crossed over.
Well, that's true. It is.
With the age, with now that the forests have all matured again, and
pardon me while I search here.
it would have been some punkin to see that country then.
Oh, wouldn't it? You know what I've always wondered though. It
had been highly manipulated by human beings.
Oh yeah. But you know what I've always thought was kind of odd? Ouch. Ow. Seatbelt got me. Just to stand there and look at it or to drive over it, maybe that's better. It doesn't seem like it's that formidable a place that you would think there would have been other gaps in the mountains they could have got, crossed over. And yet that turned out to be the main way they could get, I guess they could get wagons through there. I don't know. But if you grow up around here, you're kind of used to seeing one hill after another. And it seems like there's gaps between most of the hills. And then you run up into a place like that, or you cross the mountains into North Carolina and you go through Spivey Gap, or what was the other one up there we crossed through all the time?
Well, I'm sure there were alternate routes that you could.
Oh, yeah, probably.
But if somebody said, well, this is the way I'm going, and
that's the way they went.
They started it, then everybody came along and went that way,
Good point. Yeah, that's probably
kind of like the Oregon Trail. You look at the Oregon Trail and it's like, well, why'd they go up through that gap there? And the wagon ruts are still there, and it's like, well, that's probably the way everybody went. Maybe there was a buffalo herd over there that day, and that's where they got some meat or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when they got out here in my country, because of the lack of grass and resources along the way, they split out, and the trail was like hundreds of trails, not just a trail. Like, if you get east of here, the trail is the trail. And
what's the story? 2 weeks. Oh my God. Well, it's all right. How much?
2 weeks to cut a piece of glass?
Well, they might have to get a piece in or something. I don't know. It's how much did you say it was going to cost me? $47. Oh, damn. Remind me not to lean on any glass anytime soon. Trust me.
Well,
that's all my fault, by the way. I broke it.
Your butt broke it.
My butt got on it. We were loading the truck, and I backed up to it, and I tend to lean on things to get leverage now because I can't just lift normally. Well, several people are. I don't know how many's on right this minute. I was going to actually, if I was anywhere else but here, I'd pull over for a minute. I'm going to find me a place to. I just can't believe how much business this place is getting. You want a sandwich? Seriously? Well, hell, let's go here then. I'll just pull in down here and park for a minute. That was a speed bump, in case you're wondering.
He observed it, and I sounded it out.
Well, that would have knocked her teeth out. So I guess the wealthy people must go up there and eat at that place, and We're down here eating at just a common Subway. There's some cute girls in there. What is that place? Coffee and tea bar.
You're gonna get you some Subway.
Well, I think it looks that way. That wasn't in plan, but it looks that way. I think I'm going to go ahead and shut her down because I need to make a couple of phone calls.
Get me a 12-inch meatball marinara on wheat.
Okay. Anything else on it?
Well, yeah, I want some nanner peppers and some black olives.
Okay.
And a steak biscuit on the side. Steak biscuit.
Man, I tell you what,
and a steak biscuit on the side, yeah.
If I'd been just a tiny bit hungrier this morning, I would have got me a steak biscuit and just eat it right here on the camera.
Right here in front of me. Evil.
I need money.
Okay, well, we're getting ready to shut down. So.
Dr. Evil.
Yeah, I mean, how did they do it? He did that. So.
That's the way.
All right, guys, I appreciate you tagging along this morning. We'll do a better job of this next time.
I think this worked out pretty good, buddy. I mean,
well, I do too, except for
I'm surprised you like I said, there was only about 3 times that you were kind of a little glitchy, and then other than that, it went pretty smooth.
Yeah, I think for a road thing, it did. It worked. That I've seen, other people do. I think, there's usually quite a few. There's gaps, where you hit those dead spots. But so I thought it, considering where we live in the hills and the mountains are all around, I'm surprised it did that well. So I'm pleased with that.
When
I'll get it.
Yeah, I think it worked. I think it worked good.
I'll set it up. I'll get it figured out so that you guys can see, going forward, and and maybe me and.
Are you in Knoxville now?
Yeah, we're in Knoxville now.
Oh, you are in Knoxville.
Yeah, we're here. And the sun's actually shining a little bit. I'm not sure what that means, but we came to Knoxville and it's sunny. We left Rogersville and it was raining.
Well, you might need to go out and cut a goat or something.
Yeah, that's a good point.
What's that big yellow orb in the sky? Don't be choking on yourself.
I'm choking on your lap instead of stepping on it. I saw a program where watching that thing when they were talking about the I guess it was the Mayans that were buried in those tombs with all those bodies and bones, and we'll have to talk. Me and you will have to talk about that maybe before you get going. But I saw a really cool archaeology show on. I think it was on TV, but I'll have to find it again. It might have been on like the History Channel and they were doing some LiDAR type work and
with the Mayans.
With Mayan temples and things, and
oh yeah, that's I've probably seen that. That's a pretty cool one.
They did a whole series about it. I think kind of chased them, and they've now figured out that the Mayans came to up here, and were probably involved with whatever early natives were here then, and is either the Choctaw or the Chickasaw or the Creeks, one of them in that part, that Mississippi, Alabama area of the country.
Yeah, they figure all those Mississippian people that were clear up to Cahokia up in southern Illinois, that they were the same people that all those mound builder people. Yeah. That built the big platform mounds, not like the effigy mounds, but the big platform mounds. That they were probably just Mayans.
Well, and there's a lot of language that we know that's Mayan. I guess they know that fits right in with those languages.
Right.
So it all adds up. It's really, I mean, I've read before, people say, where did the mines go? They just disappeared. Well, they didn't really.
They're still on the Yucatan, I can tell you. I mean, they're still there.
Yeah, that's true. All right, guys, I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut it off, and we'll talk. Mark, you leave in what, 2 weeks?
I don't know, probably close.
June.
The 6th.
The 6th is D-Day. He's leaving.
Well, I leave here. I leave the house on the 5th, and I get on an airplane on the 6th. So
it'll probably be the 7th by the time you land over there.
It will be, and that but it won't be till the evening, and then
you'll still be on Wyoming time.
And you'll still be on Wyoming time. That's right.
But they're like it. I think Johannesburg is 8 hours ahead of us. And,
it sounds about right.
And then we leave out of we stay at a motel there that night, and then leave out for the Limpopo River on the 8th. So.
And what's the little burg you're staying in there?
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Well, we're not. We're staying out at the guy's deal, but
okay.
The closest little town is Alldays.
Alldays, okay.
Yeah.
Bill was asking me, and I couldn't remember to save my life.
Yeah.
What's the name of where you were going to be?
Just south of Botswana and Zimbabwe. It's right.
Yeah, I knew that. I told him it was right in that fork area where the Limpopo comes down. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend, brother. I'll talk to you soon. Say hi to the spousal unit and your daughter.
Okay.
And we'll talk to you soon. Everybody have a great weekend, guys.
Tell the girls I said hey.
We'll do it.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. See you later.